everyone? Welcome to the market update. My name is Kay Kim, and today is November 25th, 2016, Friday. Today we had half day on the market. I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving dinner with your family and friends, and continue to enjoy this weekend here, this holiday weekend. I go through these very quickly. I do have a special promotion at the end of this video. So stay tuned for that. Looking at S&P 500 here, Spider. This is where everybody is getting really irritated. I'll tell you why. The shorts are irritated because they missed out this move. A lot of shorts and market crash theorists are calling no matter what who gets elected, we're gonna see at least 25% to 40% decline in the S&P 500, or they're saying that the crash is imminent, and if a Trump happens, we're gonna have end of civilization, and we're gonna see. That's what the cynical. Miserable bears will continue to say, trying to short this market since really the whole year long, and they've been getting burned. You see that this was a Brexit panic. They're like, aha, finally, we're going to see a move like this, and we've seen in late 2015. Well, that's what they're thinking, but that really never happened here. And then we saw another kind of a falling channel type of deal. Probably a lot of people got trapped here, not understanding the big picture perspective. And I just let you guys know that if you're new to my channel, new to my video, I'm not just saying it now. I've been saying this all year long, because obviously when the movie happening like this, there's so many YouTubers that start coming out and saying that, well, yeah, the market, well, this was a bear trap, this was a bear trap. Well, you've been calling that we're gonna see much deeper crash, and now you're calling a bear trap, but you're really flippy flop and you really didn't know what you're talking about. Must stop acting like you know what you're talking about, because you really didn't, right? So it's kind of fun to go back and watch what they're talking about, back in November, or see what they're saying back in June, see what they're saying back in August or early 2016, late 2015, late 2015, what they're saying, see what they're saying back in early 2016, because I've heard all kinds of things like, this thing is gonna go a 40% decline. I've also heard that we're gonna come back and retest this at 150s on Spider, meaning 1500 on the S&P 500. I mean, that's what people are calling for, and obviously didn't happen, and a lot of them are still now saying that, well, they act like they know this move has happened. And I'm starting to really get. There's so many different things and views and so many different arguments. People are coming in, saying this, saying that. It gets tiring for you, right? It gets tiring for you to just kind of going through all these videos and somebody saying this, somebody saying that. It's almost like everybody knew this was gonna happen. I mean, they're always insisting on teaching you what to do, like do this and do that, raise your stuff. I think this is a big circus in this YouTube and Twitter and stock tweets and all kinds of people. They're gurus and they're experts. They know everything about the market. They make money every single day. I'm always like, I don't want to do these anymore. I don't want to put out videos anymore. I don't want to put out articles anymore. I just make my trade, do my own thing, make my money, and then live a peaceful life. I get to a point where it's just everything is a noise. Even CNBC and TV. I mean, you go back and you just go YouTube search 2016 market crash. How many people been calling crash? We're talking prominent people, and you go back and look at some of the CNBC articles, CNBC News, and everything else. What they've been saying, and see, this market doesn't listen to anybody. You know what I mean? Was there a chance? Of course, there's a chance. It's just a life. Anything can happen in the market. So my point of view in the market is this. I think the market could continue to grind high. We are overbought. Of course, anybody can see this. People are saying this is overbought. This is that and that. There's, there could be this happening. There could be that happening. The short's been waiting for the crash all year long, and it has been they're really exasperated by this now. A lot of people got slaughtered at this move. A lot of people are betting to the downside. They want to make some big bucks after they're so inspired by watching Big Short, right? They are so inspired. They want to make some 1000% gain. They want to become rich overnight. They got bought into this scam, and then they bet the farm here, and they added more on their shorts, and now this market is completely slaughtering all of those people, and a lot of times that's what it does. And now what's going to happen is this. This is where instead of people are, saying, well, I've been wrong on my calls. It looks bullish, so I'm gonna buy that dip. So, this was a good level to buy the dip. Instead, doing that, their ego won't let it get in the way. So then they continue to be cynical about it. They continue to pessimistic about this, and then they want to see this thing. They want to see a sharp decline. Because they're like, well, I don't want to buy it up here. I want this thing to see a sharp decline. Possibly even retesting the 200 SMA. And obviously, I don't have the crystal ball, and I don't know for sure when that's going to occur. But because of the psychology, because of so many people are looking for sharp decline, because there's so many people still waiting for possibly 180s on Spider, and because so many people are looking at that this is extreme overbought level, I think this thing could grind higher. This thing could grind higher. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I would just wait. And this is not, obviously this is not the level for an entry. That unless you're gonna day trader or whatnot, but obviously I'm still holding my call options. They're half of my closeout, 50% yesterday. This is where I enter. I documented it, and I on my blog and Twitter. You can check my Twitter if you think I'm lying or I'm just saying stuff. So I'm still holding half of my calls here, and I'm going to continue to ride it. I think also the good level for next. Possible potential target level will be about 224 here. This is a 138.2% extension level. I think this is where it might be headed, and it could continue to grind. Now, that's the thing is that when we're in a primary intermediate term uptrend like we are in the market as of today, and looking at a more of a big picture here, it can get an overbought level. Doesn't mean it's gonna go straight down. That's what a lot of times the short sellers and put holders do not understand. They're just miserable because they're not able to profit from this. So then they really don't want anybody else to be happy, and they're seeing this market sick and tired of it. So then what do? They keep shorting. They keep shorting because they're angry. They want to battle the market. They take this personally, right? What happens is it could have its ups and downs when the market is this strong. It could keep grind for months. Do you remember what happened after the Brexit? And this was a Brexit. It got up here. I think it's somewhere in this vicinity. Spider was at that overbought level, but then it kept grinding for how long before it actually saw the decline? July. 2 months. 2 months. That was a 2 month. This is a chop fest, guys. This is where the people trying to short this get chopped to death. This is where they get chopped to death. Not only shorts, also the longs, because they're looking for another just huge bullish move. And this is, a lot of times what you want to do. Like I've done, let's say you go long here, and then you start closing out your positions, into strength. And that's kind of what I've done here. I close out half on Wednesday, and I'll probably close most of my positions at around 223.74. And then if there's any sharp decline after that, I'll be buying the dip. But I'm not saying that sharp decline is going to happen anytime soon. Nobody knows. Nobody at this point. Well, we may grind higher like this, and there are instead of chasing this, I would at least be patient and wait for that pullback. That pullback might not happen though this week or next week. You might have to wait a little bit, or just look for setups, look for individual stocks that has a potential to move to the upside. And I think I think Apple could do well. If I just give you one example here, you guys know that I bought the dip Apple. Where did I buy the dip Apple? I forgot. You can go check. I have so many positions right now that it's somewhere in this vicinity. Actually, let me check. Well, I want to check. I forgot where I entered. They're doing pretty good though as of today. Here you go. So Oh, okay, 109.51. So that's this is a part two here. You see, so part one, every all these movies are documented. Part one, this is where I entered, and then it's a steep decline there, but we were still above, hanging around the 200 SMA. So I held through it, and then we saw a huge bullish move after forming that bullish engulfing pattern there. And then I closed out half up here, and then it pulled back, and then 109.51 is when I added in more. And then you see this is kind of, we threw the bullish Rami there, and then we're above 50 MA, and that's kind of what we're seeing. So right now, right here, you see, so this stock is not extended. We're not at overbought. We're just starting a move. In my opinion, this thing is ready for 118.19. What I cannot tell you is that, well, go long here and then put your stop right there, and then it's gonna get up here. You see, that's not how I do things. In my opinion, the way I trade, I'm a position trader. I don't day trade or swing trade. I hold things much longer than most people out there. I have to say that I wouldn't put your stop right here. Because I mean, it could come down a little bit lower and then possibly get back up. I would have to say that, you know, it's down here. So you gotta give a little bit more wiggle room, in my opinion. And obviously, my target is 118, 120. My first cut doesn't mean I'm gonna close everything out there. Obviously, you know that I went long here. I closed out half there. I added it here, pull back. I held through, and then my target is either 118 to 120. I'll probably close half, not all of it, and then wait for a pullback, possibly add more, and then, you know, ride it to a 130. And that's how, that's what I call active position trading there. So Apple looks good, in my opinion. I think Apple, it's holding up above 20 MA. Yeah, so we are holding up 20, and 20 MA is starting to kind of flattening out, start to rise a little bit. And so that's a good sign there. Again, if it comes down a little bit lower, I think, let's see, 100 SMA possibly next. Yeah, right there. So if there's a good chance it might come down, retest at 100 SMA. But let's say if this thing gets above next week, gets about 112, something like this, I think there's a good chance that this would get to 120, 118, possibly, you know, in 2-3 weeks or so. Depending on, I mean, it could get up there in a couple of days if things starts to move like in this kind of fashion. But again, I'm not sure that's what's going to happen. All I can see is this thing looks bullish in the minor term. We have higher lows, higher. They got that. That's a higher high, guys. That's a very subtle information, subtle data in the minor term. But that's all you need, because before it cultivates uptrend, that's what you need, is higher lows and higher highs, and that's what you're going to see. I mean, you know, just even looking at this is a very subtle. But these were higher lows. That low is higher than this low. That low is higher than that low. It's a subtle data, but after you cultivate, this is what it's saying is, that's what technical analysis can give us. What it's saying is there are buyers here. Their buyers are not making sure this thing is not coming down, making new lows. Downtrend means lower lows and lower highs. We're no longer making lower low. We're making higher low. And it went up. Did it come all the way down, making new low? No, it didn't. It stopped showing the middle. And then we saw support right there on the gap support. And then we cultivate another higher low and then continue on. What happened here? Instead of coming down, make new low, even feeling this gap, we stopped short, cultivate yet another higher low. And again, that anybody can see that, right? That's a low, that's the higher low, higher low. It seems very simple. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. It means we're in an uptrend, right? And then why do you think so many shorts are just really exasperated by what happened to Apple? They thought that Apple is, I mean, I've heard things like Apple is going to go to 90s, 80s, you know, stuff like that. But you see how majority traders that you see in publicly calling out stupid things, they really don't know what they're doing, because if they knew what they're doing, why would they need to spend time wasting their precious time going online, start, you know, bashing on Apple every single second? I seriously hope that they have life, right? So Apple is kind of it looks like there's a good chance it can get up there. So that's kind of what I would focus on. Let's just quickly talk about gold and silver here. Gold continues to move lower here. Something we've been talking about time and time again is this downtrend resistance, guys. This is a primary term downtrend resistance. This is a reason why when this started to getting back up here, I've talked about how this is not a level for an investment. I think there's the reason why I said that is because a lot of people are brainwashed by these gold pumpers that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. But go back and research what they've been saying. They've been saying that here, every time. They've been saying this all throughout since even back in 2011. They said that's the best time. Do your research, you know what I mean? When you hear somebody on the YouTube and they're saying something, go back and see what they were saying before. That's how you know. Just don't listen now, you know. Listen, just go back and research me. See what I've been saying about gold. Just go back and research me about what I've been saying about the equities, about the stock market, about the S&P 500 earlier this year, late last year. What have I been saying? But anyway, now we made new low here. That's not a good thing. Obviously, we filled this gap. We saw a little initial bounce which we talked about in the last video on it. We came back here and we filled this gap today. So there might be a chance of bounce here. I'm not sure how far, how much. All I can tell you right now is we're on a downtrend. We already have a primary term downtrend. And then on top of that, we got this minor term downtrend forming. It looks also like head and shoulder formation confirming there. You can see my Fibonacci. This is the last level of Fib. So and then that coinciding with the gap area. So maybe there might be some buyer to maybe even fill this gap right here. We got gap right there. So maybe fill that gap and then possibly come down lower here. But this at this point does not look too good. This is the reason why I haven't been trading gold and silver in some time now. Silver. Same thing, you'll fill that gap. We are trading below that the last level of Fib. We have kind of filled that gap today. Looks like, again, we might see some bounce here, but we are in lower highs and lower lows. And, people always ask me, well, when is a good time to buy? You want to see the trend changing, especially buying the dip strategy is not going to work on silver when we're in a downtrend. You know what I mean? Buying the dip strategy would work in the S&P 500 when we're in an uptrend. Do you see the difference? This is a different picture. This is a downtrend. S&P 500 is an uptrend. Okay, so buying the dip strategy will not work unless you're just buying quick, and just very, very nimble about it. But at this point, it looks like we got this kind of a awkward looking inverted head and shoulder formation confirming here, possibly even retest and come back down. But at this point, it's tough to say. What I would say is this. If you want to see this thing reversing, foremost, we want to see silver getting above price action, getting well above that falling downtrend resistance. So what we need to see is this thing kind of getting back up, coming down, and then we start to cultivate higher lows and higher highs above this falling downtrend resistance, right? I think good time to go long maybe here. That would be the most safe area. After kind of coming back up here, make equal low, equal highs. What is the definition of a downtrend? Lower highs and lower lows. So when this thing goes up here, get an equal high, and then falls back, and then when it starts kind of get back up, I think that's a good level to go long or for your investment if you want to go long. But at this point, we don't have that. So we'll continue to watch and see how it plays out here. But I personally don't want to go long anytime soon. I would actually want to see this thing seeing full confirmation, meaning I want to even see this thing getting above this level and then coming back down, retesting it. That's what I call full confirmation. It's a major resistance, and I want to see that major resistance taken out and then gets higher, and then I want to see that pullback to retest the major resistance. The fear is that at that point is this: well, okay, what about once it gets above that major resistance? But what if it never pulls that and just keeps on going higher? Then you let it go. There are other setups, right? But a lot of times, what it will do is it will kind of come back. You see right there. We got above it, and then you see that, it didn't work out perfectly, but You see, this is why you don't want to trade this on breakout. This is what people call it a breakout. That's a sucker's game. You see that breakout never works out, really. And then it pull back, and then it gets up. There's always going to be a pullback, and you need some kind of establishment before this thing get into euphoria level. So you don't expect to get into this euphoria level before the establishment of an uptrend. This is establishment of an uptrend, right? We're just cultivating higher lows and higher highs, like that. And then you see there's always a pullback. There's a plenty of time to go long on these pullbacks. And then what's going to happen is you're going to catch a break in your trade, and then you're going to be able to experience the euphoria level of move. But it doesn't happen right away after pullback or after, after a sharp decline or a crash. At this point, though, we've been in this downtrend for so long. I don't think it's going to take a while before we get that establishment above that falling resistance. So that's definitely keep an eye on. As I promised, I talked about I don't like doing this. I don't like talking about my plans. And if you do, if you are interested, there's always, you can go to my website, twotradersclub.com. You can look at your premium plans, and you can sign up. But I don't ever solicitate my plans. I don't ever tweet about it. Once in a while I'll talk about it on YouTube. But this is my plan. You can check it out here. So obviously my premium plan is $300 a month. But just until Sunday at midnight, until Sunday midnight, I'm offering 35%. I just been getting questions. Is there any kind of special discount? So here you go, 35% there. So it'll be $195 monthly, $1,290 yearly for the Premier plan. You can learn more about Premier plan by reading the this page here on the premium plans. But so the address is twotradersclub.com/premier 35. I will put the link below YouTube description, or if you're watching this through my website, I'll have the link below there. So you can let me know if you have any questions using the contact button there. But that's what I have, and have a long Thanksgiving. Again, best way to connect with me with my analysis and articles and videos is put your email address there. I do tweet out things, but you want to make sure read my videos and watch my videos and read my articles. If you put your email there, as soon as I publish new articles or videos, you'll get to your inbox, so you won't ever miss it. There will be never a solicitation or anything like that, so don't worry about that. But you can always sign out anytime. So have a great long holiday weekend. Again, my name is K Kim, and thanks for listening. I will come back to you, I don't know when, but I guess I'll talk to you next time. Have a great weekend.